come to Vegas in 2020? Let's be frank and have a discussion about this today. This is a car video, talking in my car. Sometimes I do videos where I'm on the strip. Sometimes I do live streams on the strip or from my house, if you're not familiar with the channel. Sometimes we do highly edited videos that are little documentary type things and do room tours and all sorts of fun stuff. And sometimes we talk in the car. In today's video, we have to talk about if it's worth coming to Vegas in 2020. Is it worth your while? We're going to talk about what led us to here and where we are going from here and whether or not it's worth your time to travel. Because that's a big thing right now. Some people's travel budgets are lower. You need to know if you should go to Florida and go to Disney, or if you should come to Las Vegas, or if you just go camping or glamping, which is, I guess, the thing that's popular now. RV sales and rentals through the roof. People are going camping. They're getting out of their houses. But should you come to Vegas? Let's say a question today. By the way, my name is Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. And leave me a comment below. Do you think that you are coming to Las Vegas in 2020? A recent study I read on casino.org/news said that 40% of people actually surveyed, mind you, it was only 400 plus people surveyed, said that they're going to wait for the vaccine before they go anywhere. Then again, you have like 75% of people saying they're never going to take the vaccine. Make up your mind, folks. Make up your mind. So are you going to plan to come to Las Vegas? That's the comment I want to hear. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, all notifications. If you guys are having a problem with notifications, I suggest you turn them off and then back on. That might fix them. If you guys want to support the channel, there's also Patreon and the YouTube memberships. Both are going to get early access to my videos when I launch the really edited ones. Both are going to get one live stream per month, exclusive to members if you're of the appropriate tier, and it explains it in those membership options. And both are going to get their name and their credits. And I have a lot of credits I got to catch up on this weekend. Also, VegasFacemasks.com. The only 2 masks you'll ever need. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the mask button. VegasFacemasks.com. No S at the end. 2 for $25. My wife makes them. They're awesome. All right, commercials aside, where are we at in Las Vegas in 2020? It's a tough one, isn't it? You come to Las Vegas. First of all, let's get something straight. This is not the same as it was January 2nd of 2020 or January 1st. I picked January 2nd because technically January 1st is New Year's Day. It's always slow. But even if you came here during Consumer Electronics Show Week, which happens shortly after the 2nd of January, you would have had access to everything. Cirque du Soleil was performing. There was concerts in town. Hockey games were going on at T-Mobile with the Golden Knights. Go Knights go tonight. Hopefully they win. And everything was just full blast. Buffets, everything. I'm not telling you about the full Vegas experience. If you're not familiar, go watch my channel. Other channels will show you the same stuff. March 17th, I think it was. Is that the date? Yeah, that's the date that modern day Vegas will live in infamy. I'm not comparing this to Pearl Harbor. Don't get mad. We respect everybody who might have lost their lives in that horrible situation. But I'm using infamy in Las Vegas for modern days. It doesn't compare. It's just a day that will always be remembered. That's when Sisolak officially shut everything down. Our governor of our state, Steve Sisolak, shut it all down. And then we sat and waited in limbo. There was shelter in place. Some people were freaked out and panicked. I heard a lady at the store that I live near. She claimed that a police officer stopped her and followed her to her place of work. I don't know if she's being serious. People oftentimes say things to get attention, but I heard other stories like that too, so it's possible. June 4th, of course, everything opened back up. Here we are. It's now August 27th, right? And we have the Mirage opening tonight. Woo! Look at that. With the exception of the Cromwell, Planet Hollywood, the Rio, and the Park MGM, pretty much everything in terms of a casino property is open. The Lynx Hotel Tower is not open. The rooms are not open. But you can go to the link and you can walk through and you can gamble. But what do you do if you come to Las Vegas? I mean, that's where we're at right now. What can you possibly do? Well, you know, again, it's not the same as January 2nd. It's not the same as any day in Las Vegas when you come here right now. So why would you even bother to come here? Well, there's 2 types of travelers that enjoy Vegas. First of all, if you've never been here, you might want to come right now. You will probably enjoy the city. You'll enjoy the Bellagio fountains. Now the Mirage Volcano is going to be going. Fremont Street Experience is open downtown. You know, you have the atrium. There's a lot of things to do in Las Vegas that you can check out. Madame Tussauds, the gondolas, the Venetian, all this massive grand architecture. You can check that stuff out. Even the high roller's open, limited to 10 people per car. So if you come to Vegas for the first time, that's great. You probably enjoy it, and you're going to want to come back, and you're going to go on the journey with us as we reopen all aspects of the city as time goes on and we get to a point where either herd immunity exists or a vaccine exists. And that's a good positive thing. You get to share your story with people, and you say, the first time I came here, man, was it ever different than now? Positives. But there's two types of travelers, right? You have the people that are going to come into Las Vegas that remember it for the way it was, and they have certain things they like to do. Maybe they go to nightclubs, those aren't operating. Maybe they want to go to the shows and check out the shows and live entertainment. They might come into town and say, oh, who's the headliner over at the park? Oh, it's Lady Gaga, or it's Bruno Mars. Oh, I have money, I'm going to go see that concert. That's not happening. Live entertainment, folks, you're not going to have a great time in Vegas if you're looking forward to it and that's all you do. Nightclub people, if that's all you do, it's not going to be your thing. But if you are the gambler type, if you're the type that comes in to do an amazing meal, and we'll talk about that in a minute, how to actually do these things in Vegas, because it's getting kind of weird in terms of how you have to operate out here. You're going to probably have the same experience you always had, with the exception of having to wear your face mask, of course, and having to basically organize a little bit differently. If you come in to gamble, you're going to gamble. You know, there's been a lot more jackpots recently. I think that's because there's less people gambling and the pots are growing and they're cashing out bigger. So that's a positive. I'm not saying you're going to win a jackpot. You're never going to win at the casino. I'm not that channel that tells you can make a rich here, because that's not how gambling works. But you can still gamble. I mean, some of these casinos, unfortunately, without naming names, are not even adhering to social distancing on the slot machines. They were supposed to close out every other machine. I've been in so many casinos on the Strip. I've seen plenty of places where they haven't even bothered to do that. So that's a thing. You can gamble in Las Vegas. What else can you do here? I mean, if you're an outdoorsy type, you can rent a car. You can go to Red Rock Canyon, the Valley of Fire. You can explore. If you're a foodie, go over to Chinatown. You guys can explore, again, going back to the food. Now, if you are the food type, just a hot tip for you. My wife last week went out with some of her girlfriends to the Strip. She found out the hard way that places like Nobu, Gordon Ramsay restaurants, all these places are actually booked out almost a week in advance. So if you haven't already made a reservation, make a reservation up to a week in advance for where you want to eat. Plan your trip out a little bit better when you come to Las Vegas. You're going to have a better time. She did make some reservations with my phone number by accident. I don't know how that happened. Maybe she was logged into me somewhere with my phone number. It took 3 hours for Nobu, which is the high-end Asian place over at Caesar's Palace, to actually give her the notification that she could get in. The other two that she chose, one was a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, the other slips my mind, never actually gave her a confirmation that she had a table ready. So if you're a foodie, if you're coming here, you make sure that you program your trip a little bit better. And how would you do that? Well, I recommend highly that you just make reservations from home. Call the properties directly. I wouldn't use a third party. I don't think I trust Google right now to make those reservations for me well. So call up the places and expect to make a reservation with the restaurant and plan your trip. Yeah, there's two types of travelers as well. People who want to be very spontaneous and people who are the planners. When I worked in the timeshare business, I'd meet people, I'd ask them when they want to do the presentation. Sometimes people pull out this agenda and it's written down and it's very well organized. You might have to be that person, not to that extreme, but you might want to make some things happen in advance. So if you're coming into Vegas and you're one of those two types of people, consider your options. If you're going to come here and have a bad experience, I'd rather that you wait. I really would. I really would. And if you're going to come here and you're okay with gambling, doing some really great dinners and having a good time, you're going to probably still have a good time if you enjoy the Bellagio fountains, if you enjoy the attractions, things like this. Call ahead, find out. Now, what about the health aspect of coming here in 2020? That's the white elephant in the room. Yesterday, we talked about the stats in a live stream. I highly recommend you check that video out. And that talked about all the stats. The stats are trending down in every single metric with the exception of deaths, but I explained that in that video as well. It's at the 10-minute mark of the live stream I did yesterday. If you're coming here, though, and you're a certain type of person, I would say the risk is up to you. I'm not going to tell you to come or not to come. I'm going to say that if you go back home and you have people in your household, in your daily lives, that have some kind of an issue with health, you probably don't want to put them at risk, because even if you don't feel sick, you could be asymptomatic. This is just what's happening right now. We'll never know how many people come into Vegas and go home sick, because those people can't prove that they got it at any one particular place. So that's going to be a thing. So if you come home, go to a job, work at a nursing home, please don't come to Las Vegas right now. You go to somebody back home, like I have a family member who has rheumatoid arthritis, he takes immunosuppressant drugs, please don't come to Las Vegas right now. However, if you're that person that has a job and you don't know anybody else who is at risk and nobody in your household is at risk and you yourself aren't at risk, come to Vegas, I guess that's you know, that's on you, okay? If you're going to fly in an airplane, I read a stat that says that on a flight of 2 hours or less, your chances are 1 in 4,400 that you are actually going to contract this thing on an airplane, and that if the seats in between you are removed, so everybody's spaced out three seats in a row at least, and the one is empty in the middle, it's 1 in 7,700. Would you fly to Las Vegas right now? You give me a comment below. But that's a kind of a snapshot on traveling to Vegas late summer of 2020. Everything is opening up right now, it seems, with the exception of live entertainment, nightclubs, gentlemen's clubs, these kinds of things. Is it going to be the Vegas experience that you remembered? Absolutely not. Is it going to be something different than what you've been stuck at home looking at? Absolutely it will. Is it going to be right for you? Well, only you can tell, and I hope you do tell in the comments below. That's our video for today. My name is Steven. I am not leaving Las Vegas. I'm going to be posting an update on what's happening tonight with the live stream over on the, I'm doing this on purpose, okay? I want to make sure that you guys know I'm not keeping you out of the dark, but look for my live stream tonight. It'll be a free live stream. I'll be posting updates to Patreon and the YouTube members so they can know what's going on in a little bit more detail, and there's a strategic reason for that I won't get into. It's a YouTube thing. So you guys go look for those updates, and we'll see you guys tonight in a live stream. The live stream will start around 7 o'clock. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, and go to vegasfacemask.com if you need your face masks. My wife makes them. They're awesome, and that's it, 2 for $25. And this is the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. And I hope this new camera app I'm using is working well. You tell me. 3, 2, 1, and click. Thank you.